blessed morning, day, afternoon, whatever time it is. Anxiety. Jumping straight into this, pulling cards. Anxiety is in the atmosphere. That's just what it is. I woke up in it. I am accepting it. I just finished meditating, and this is the place of acceptance of anxiety today. That is the practice. But I want to pull cards. I've been wanting to pull cards because I just want to. There's something here that wants to express. It's an urge, it's an antsiness, it's an anxiousness. It was earlier coming sort of as the feeling of having to give a class presentation back in school, and everybody's gonna go today. We're all gonna present, and it's the feeling of someone not wanting to and resisting, and so they keep not volunteering, right? The hand stays down, thinking that in some way that will alleviate the anxiety when actually it is making it worse. Every next person that goes just increases the tension and the pressure, knowing that it's ticking down, it's running out of people, and it's just prolonging the inevitable, essentially. There's a feeling of something's got to give. Something having to do with Mercury moving into Taurus, which happens tomorrow. It's the sense of things getting real, is the way I'm perceiving it. It's just things are getting real. It's real now. It's actually real. And there's no more pretend. There is a hard truth that is settling in. There's the urge to run from it, to try to distract, to try to cover it, suppress it, to shake it off, but it's unshakable. We can't shake this feeling, we can't shake this truth. And so, yeah, it's just increasing tension. And I can feel it, so that's okay. It's okay to feel this sensation. I am here to accept it, to love and appreciate it exactly as it is, and to give it voice. Pre-shuffle, yeah, the soul wants something new. The soul wants to move. The soul is flowing. It's the feeling of the energy has already flowed, and not just a little bit, all of it. It's your whole soul has already done this thing. This has already happened in the 5D. This has been expressed, this action has been taken, this move has been made, whatever it is, the energy completely, the soul has left the body almost, in essence. Not literally, but it's the feeling of it. Yeah, this is a thing that has already taken place. And so the resistance to it does feel, it literally sort of is a prolonging of the inevitable in a sense. Exactly what I just said. An action that has already been taken. This is past the intention phase. This has already taken place. Yeah. 4 of Cups. Let me make sure I get this all in the right order here. Yeah, it's 2 Wands crossing, 6 Pentacles. The giving, the flow has already occurred energetically. Once the intention was set, once that ask was given to the universe, it is delivered. It takes place energetically. Whether or not a 3D person, place, or thing specifically follows its own energy, well, that's up to free will. But it's becoming harder and harder to ignore this. There's a desperation. There's a desperation with this 4 of Cups. And it is a little bit of just that same feeling of, I know I have to do this, but I don't want to. But the longer I put it off, the worse it is. And then some kind of self-directed meanness of, why can't I just do it? It's a very a very unhappy and just anxious energy. What's crossing the Four of Cups? The Emperor. Yep, it's the masculine. It's the masculine aspect. This is what is caused by ego. It's the fear of ego to release, to let go, to surrender, to allow the inevitable nature to take its course. It's that unwillingness to release control. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. What's on top? Death. That's the change that happens anyway. Just further inevitability. That's what I'm getting off of that. It's, yeah, I mean, it's, you know, death and taxes. It's time to pay the piper. It's time for this change to take place, and there's a resistance to it. And that the resistance to it is what generates the anxiety. It's not, if you just flow with the energy, if you just let it happen, if you stand up and give the presentation and say, well, whatever happens, happens, then you flow with it and you actually release the anxiety. It is able to express out. The frequency of that energy raises because you have let go of the resistance to it. It's only resistance to the flow of energy that lowers the vibration, that lowers the frequency, which is why all emotion can and does serve us when we allow it to flow. There's no low vibration emotion. It's the resistance to the feeling. It's the resistance to the natural flow of energy that keeps it in this low feeling state. If we just let it go, if we move with our own energy, again, if we follow the soul, the direction that it's moved, then we realize it's a lot more pleasant of an experience. The sensation of it is more relaxed and positive. If you just relax into it and let the flow take you and move with it, then you're not balled up in resistance. And it's the resistance that doesn't feel good. So I just want 3 cards. I want to keep this, well, short as I can here. 3 cards expressing this energy. Tell me what you want to tell me, universe. Whatever you want to tell me. Yeah, I'm just expressing this to flow with the energy for myself. I'm going with the flow. I had some resistance to this. I didn't really feel like it, but then it was that, just the resistance to it was what felt unpleasant. So I'm just going with it. I'm letting it express. And death pops out again. I'm going to keep going. Yeah. You have to feel it to free it. 8 of Wands. Yeah, okay, I'm taking that as a first card, but I'm not done shuffling. I'm actually not. Okay, now I am. I just had to finish that shuffle, apparently. 8 of Wands, it's an urgency. This is an urgent 8 of Wands. Again, the energy has flowed. It is flowing. It's the feeling that the universe is trying to create communication. There is supposed to be, I don't really want to put it that way, but there's supposed to be communication as a result of this. In the same way that, like, when the weather gets really cold, you're kind of supposed to put on a jacket. You don't have to. There's no, moral edict around jacket wearing, and furthermore, the universe doesn't judge things in that way. There is no right or wrong or bad or good. It's just, this would be naturally flowing with the energy, would be to express communication. New horizons, something that we've been looking at, what's fueling that? It's the same. Death. It's just, we know it's time. We know it's time for this. What is the 3 of Wands crossing? What is it time for? To cut the bullshit. To make this move. 5 of Swords. To stop selling the self short. To stop writhing in this discontent and agony and just flow with the energy. That's how you stop self-sabotaging, by just saying whatever happens, happens. I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna try. And that is, it's directly contradicting ego. Ego is fearful. It is controlling. It perceives a threat in the taking of this action. It's what perceives a threat in the potential of rejection, of the potential of someone saying no, of something not going a way that you anticipated or perhaps thought that you desired. Ego thinks it desires a lot of things. The soul knows. That's something that I am surrendering. I am surrendering everything that I thought I wanted so that I can receive exactly what I deserve. That's powerful. Surrender everything that you think, that the ego believes that it desires, so that you can receive what you truly deserve from the soul level, your heart's true desires, lifetimes worth of asking, and full alignment with the highest good. They know they can't bullshit. You can't get away with giving 5 minutes of your presentation and then, oh, I gotta take a phone call. Too bad, I guess we can't do the whole presentation. It's even if the bell rings. No, you're given the whole presentation. The class is staying. The class is staying seated until you give this presentation in full. There is no shortcutting this. There's no half-assing this truth, this communication. There's no going halfway in a leap of faith. You can't go a little bit with your own flow of energy. You follow it. You go all the way. You take a flying leap off of that cliff. That's the way it works. There's no in between. And there's no in between. You don't die halfway. You die all the way, you know. That's what it is. That's what's read with the Seven of Wands. Direct escalation, 7 of Wands to 8 of Wands. It's time to stop pushing this back. You can't hold this back. The 7 is not bigger than 8. That's not how it works. 7 is not more than 8. This is not more powerful than 8. It doesn't matter how hard you try to stop this communication, this change from occurring, this transformation. It's taking place one way or another, and that is settling in. That's settling in. It's getting real. All right, because I'm curious, tell me about this 5 of Swords. Why is the 5 of Swords here? Okay. Fell right out. Yeah, King of Cups, because it's a repeating message. It's everything. It's time for the Emperor to come to balance. What that means is opening up, is sharing, is giving the full cup. No more of this 1 foot on land and 1 on sea. No more of that. It's time to make a decision. It's time to take a step. It's time to get wet. Card of Cancer, soulmate cycle. It's just repeating itself, which I love. Yeah. This King of Cups has known for a long time. They've had their eye on this. They've known they were going to have to make this decision for a long time. And now the time is here. You had 30 days to prepare for this presentation or whatever, you know. And today's the day. Today is presentation day. You knew it was coming. You knew you weren't going to get out of it. It doesn't matter how hard you resist it. Teacher says everybody goes today. All of the presentations happen today, no matter how long it takes. That's determination too. This is a little bit of the universe's energy of saying, this is going to happen. We're going to sit here. We're going to sit at the table until you finish your vegetables. I don't care if it goes to 3 a.m. We're sitting here. We're doing this until you make this move, till you take this step. Clarify a little bit more. This is like the fastest reading I've ever done. This is very clear energy. Because again, that's really just what it is. It's become very clear. It's become painfully obvious. There's no misunderstanding this. This is supposed to, it's supposed to create communication. You're supposed to give the presentation today. It's agreed upon at a higher level. All right. What am I doing? One more for the King of Cups. Why is the King of Cups here? Just so we can be really clear. Why is this King of Cups here? Oh man, the cards are sticky. Yeah, because they're supposed to leave something behind and move towards the other thing. What's on top? What did I just freaking say? I love tarot. I love the energy. There's a thing, there's a situation, a way of thinking. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be a literal marriage. It can be a literal marriage, but it can be marriage to a way of thinking as well, or a job, or a family, or even one really domineering friend who seems to have complete say over somebody's life. That's true for at least one person. It's time to move away from that. It's time to stop letting that keep us stagnant, keep us imprisoned. It's time to move towards the new horizons. What's on the new horizon? The soul contract. Again, it's one of these roses is dying and the other one is coming in to refresh it. One of these soul contracts, this previous connection, is being completed. It's complete. It's karmic. It's closing. It's dead. It's done. It's time for it to go so that the new soul contracts can now take place. Again, it's agreed upon at a higher level. It's the person before you just finished their presentation. Now it's agreed upon that you go next. You step up to the podium. You give this speech, whatever, you express, you give this cup, you be vulnerable. It's your turn now, says the universe. That's just what this is. There's no escaping it. There's... Why is the Seven of Wands here? Just tell me about this. This is kind of the behavior, in addition to the Five of Swords, that is, it's not gonna work. Why is the Seven of Wands here? Yeah, it's not gonna work. Jesus. What did I just say? Death comes back. Two major arcana cards. Death and the Hierophant. This is... Holy Moses. Yeah, you can't defy that level of energy. That's, I mean, it's a little bit like you can't contradict the Pope. You know, it's no, what spirit says goes. That's the way it is, because it's you, because you are spirit, because it's your soul and yourself that has decided it's time for this change to take place. It's time to step onto the higher road. Time to stop fighting your own fate, essentially. It's not that word, and I don't really like to use that word, but it's the destiny designed for yourself. It's time. It's you decided at the soul level. It's time for this. Now, the rest of 3D is going. You signed up for this slot on the presentation. You picked it. In fact, you picked it many, many lifetimes ago. You signed up to go now because you wanted to, because you chose to. That was a part of your plan for yourself, your soul. Now it's time. It's time. The number is up. It has been called. What do I want? Yeah, I didn't even, I felt the need not to shuffle. Why is the Hierophant here? Again, because it's time to open up. time to express the truth, time for a rebirth, time for victory, time for this battle, this long fought battle, it's the Six of Wands, to come to an end. We have a direct escalation in Wands, specifically from 6 to 7 to 8. The energy is flowing. It's already flowed. The birds are in the air. You know, this transformation has already taken place. It's the resistance to it, the resistance to the change, that is literally like trying to pretend something that is dead is not dead. It's Weekend at Bernie's, but it's gone on a little too long, and that thing is starting to stink. I hate to say it, but it is. We can't deny this anymore. The truths are known, the emotion is understood, it's comprehended, and it's time for it to flow. It's time for it to come out. Why is the Eight of Wands here? Tell me about this Eight of Wands. The dominoes are falling. Just again, it's in motion. Yeah, we've already started this process. It doesn't stop. Hanged Man. It is a repeating message, which is really important. Because it's consistent, which is a part of why this is so unavoidable. It's in every layer. It's in every layer of energy. It's nope, it's the same message, is what the universe is saying. Nope, same message. Nope, this is what's happening. This is what's happening. The soul is awake. The soul knows it's time to move. It's time to move. It's time to make a change. It's time for this bat to take flight. It's time for the King of Cups to stand up and get some water. Time to get a move on. What am I? I'm hearing some song, but I don't know it very well. I'm curious what's fueling the Hanged Man. The Page of Cups. Yeah, there's an apology attached to this, certainly. Could be an apology to the self. There's a little bit of that, why didn't I do this sooner? And, you know, I'm sorry for just not flowing with my own energy, essentially. But it's new love. It's love. It's an expression of love. It's vulnerability. What is on top? I can't get rid of this card. I'm telling you. You can't avoid this. And it's read again directly with the Hierophant. Again. You don't get much more repeating energy than that. It's spirit saying this change has taken place already. Energetically, this has occurred, and there's no way out of it. There's no defying it. That's just because it's the decision we made for ourselves, because it's a choice our soul made for this to happen. It's not some other thing. It's not God separate from us. We are God. We are spirit. We are source. This is the choice that we made together as the divine self for this to happen. At this time, in this place, this energy comes to balance. Signed, sealed, delivered. It's just what it is, what's on top. You don't fucking make this shit up. Justice. There are only like 2 more cards I can pull that are universe, God, source itself saying it's time for this to happen. It's time for this conversation to occur. As Steve's Love Tarot often says, it's time for the black cat and the white cat to have a conversation. That doesn't become more clear and literal in any other context. With the 8 of Wands here and death in between, there's nothing stopping this. It's just There's nothing stopping this flow. Again, it's already taken place. It's the dam has burst. There's nothing stopping this water from rushing forward now. It's not just gonna sit there and hold itself back. It's flowing. It's flowing. It's time for this to happen. Also read with the 6 of Wands. It's yeah, there's no stopping this. I don't know what that means. I'm not going to try to predict that it means something specific, but the energy has flowed and the masculine must follow it in some way. Whatever that means, it plays out differently for everybody and in different layers of energy. But this has already happened energetically. It's already come to balance. You've already given the presentation in the 5D. Now it's time for the 3D to catch up, basically. That's just what it is. Got one more thing to say. I'm just going to take one card and a bottom card. Final message, whatever you want to say. Universe is a little snippy, not going to lie. Okay. It's the Emperor, crossed by the sad horse. I was feeling that. Yeah, Temperance. It's time. It's time for this to get done. It's time for them to stop looking at the 3 cups down and to move towards the 2 cups still standing. Who? In case it wasn't abundantly clear, the universe is being very clear. It's time for the ego to let go of control. Time for the masculine aspect to surrender, to come to balance, to make this move, to transform, change perspective. All of that is here. It's time to let go. What's under Temperance? Oh my God. The 5 of Pentacles. Yeah. Come on. 5 of Pentacles, and then Liberation. 6 Pentacles. Yeah. They chose this. The masculine energy, we chose this collectively as the collective soul and being as well. Now is the time for Earth to ascend. Now is the time for ego sublimation to happen at every level. That's what this is. And a big part of that, because it has to do with closing up these karmic cycles. They can't come with us. They can't come with us. It's time for it to end. And that means finishing out these previous soulmate contract connections of every kind and stepping into the ascended ones, stepping into the new ones that we agreed upon, again, as a part of uplifting the energy, moving into the creation of new Earth. That's just Emperor. It's time to make a choice. That's on top. Repeating message, it's time to make a choice. And that's why there's so much anxiety. That's all I got. I just wanted to express this as simply as possible. It is abundantly clear. The universe pulled this whole reading. It's very clear. I make no predictions other than the universe is saying it's time for this. They agreed, we agreed collectively as a collective being that it happens now. And it's already happened energetically. That's taken place. It's time for the 3D to catch up. That's just what it is. Somebody's got to speak. So that's all I got for you. I intend this resonates. It resonates with me. Let me know what you think. Have a fantastic evening, afternoon, whatever time, space you are in. And always know that I adore you. I really do. Oh, thank you, Jonah. Have a great day.